Hi here, Fins here. I'm back for another video, and today I'm going to be talking about week 3 of Dancing on Ice 2019. And oh boy, what a week it was. So yes, 11 couples were in the show this week, and it was musicals week, which is quite weird because Strictly usually does musical week. So yeah, I don't know if they were copying Strictly or whatever, but anyway. So it was musicals week, which actually they had decent musicals, I think. Yes, but unfortunately for Richard Blackwood, he was the second voted off. He was in the skate off with Syra Khan from Loose Women and The Apprentice. And I think both of them were on the same level. I think Syra was better in the skate off. Her musical dance, wasn't the best. I think she was stronger in the skate off because she showed more skill than Richard did. So yeah, and I think, I thought that Syra was the better dancer in, and I knew it was going to go to tie. So yeah, I was happy Syra stayed. Richard Blackwood, I was expecting to be in the final. I was actually a little bit disappointed in his routine on Sunday, because actually, I don't know, it looked, I don't say stiff, but I was expecting more from him. I'm a little bit disappointed. I just think, I don't know, something was missing from him. It was just, he looked quite serious, he looked too serious. When he was skating, he was quite worried he was going to fall over, I thought, and I think the judges did pick up on it a bit. Yeah, I was disappointed in him, but I do think maybe he's out a bit too soon. I think, I think maybe although I think Syra was better in the skate off, I think Richard, I don't think it was his time to go though, so yeah. A little bit sad he's gone, because I think he did have potential, but you know what, he just wasn't really good this week, unfortunately. So yeah, it's sad to see him go. I really like him off EastEnders and all that, so I'm really sad to see Richard Blackwood out quite early on, actually. I would never predicted he would be out quite early on, so I was quite sad to see him go out early on. But we have to talk about Gemma Collins and Jason Gardner. I think I'm going to talk about that the most. You know what, it was just got out of hand. So basically, Gemma Collins, she calls herself the GC, she acts like a diva most of the time, in training and on the show, and last week, when she was in training, a lot of media, newspapers and articles were all saying she's a diva, she's not turning up on time, and she doesn't enjoy the show, etc, etc, and then Jason Gardner early in the week, he said something about Gemma Collins, probably not saying something, I don't know what it was, for an interview, I think. And then after Gemma Collins did her routine, which, I have to be honest, wasn't best of the night. It was a bit under-rehearsed for me. The scores, she was in the leaderboard. It was quite obvious that was going to happen, but and then it came to Jason, and indeed, he said it's less Marion Monroe, more like Anna Nicole Smith, which is a bit low. And then he said, oh, I don't think there's going to be any lists in the future. So basically, he was fat shaming. And then Gemma said, well, don't tell stories about me or something like that. And she said, boring, next, bye-bye. I don't know. It got really out of hand. Then Jason Gardner called her a brat, saying this is not looking good for your image or what you're like. So it got really out of hand. It got really awkward. you know, I'm very divided. You know, both of them, at the end of the day, are wrong. At the end of the day, Dancing on Ice is a show where you have to... if you're going to go on Dancing on Ice, you need to know what you are going to expect. You know, it's an ice skating show, it's a talent show. It can also be called a reality show. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to know what to expect. You have to know how long you're going to be training for. Like, you've got to know, like, this is a show. This is a popularity show, and Gemma Collins is no stranger to popularity shows. Like, she's been on nearly every reality TV show under the sun. Like, I'm Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, Celebrity Big Brother, Celebrity MasterChef, Celebrity Go Dating, All Together Now, you name it, she's been on it. Splash. But yeah, I mean, so she's used to reality TV. It's quite clear. You know, there's a difference as well from, like, and you know, you've got to expect, like, not everybody's gonna like you when you're on, like, a TV show, for example. So you've got to bear that in mind. And, you know, not everybody's gonna like you. At the end of the day, there's difference between people having opinions and people having trolls. I mean, I'm a bit on, you know, where you draw the line when you comment. Like, if you're just saying something negative to Gemma Collins on Twitter, is that your own opinion, or are you now a troll because you've said something negative to her? So yeah, I mean, it's never nice to be trolled online, but you've just got to face it. You've got to face the music, and, you know, people are allowed their own opinions. And also, if you don't want, like, this attention to happen to you, if you don't like these stories happening, like, you shouldn't really always act like a diva. You've got to, like, if you don't want this to happen to you, then why are you acting like a diva? And, you know, you've got to put the hours in. You've got to at least try and do something and, like, come across nice towards people. That being said, I do think Jason Gardner was also in the wrong. I think calling her Anna Nicole Smith, which, if you haven't heard of her, just Google her Wikipedia. It's very tragic. That was pretty low and pretty horrible to compare her to Anna. I mean, that was quite mean. I think if you would say that on Twitter, I think you would become a troll. But also, like, she was also fat shaming her, like, you won't do lifts. I mean, you know, both Gemma and Jason were both in the wrong. You know, also Dancing on Ice is, like, supposed to be like this family show, like, you know, it's not The Jungle, Celebrity Big Brother. It's a talent show, not a reality show. So, you know, I just think, you know, and there were children in the audience, and there's this and that. I mean, you know, there's so much going on. I mean, I love a bit of drama, but this is a talent. You know, but you know what? You know, this is deja vu because, you know, this reminds me of that Jason Gardner and Karen Barbara back in 2011, if you remember, like, because Karen is like a teacher for the ice for the celebs in the week while they're trained for the dance routine, and she still does that. But in 2011, that was the first year she was doing it, and the year before she was part of the panel. So, you know, Jason and Karen really didn't get along as well. So, I mean, when Jason spoke to Karen, like, he said to her, because she said opinion about somebody who just skated, his opinion said, well, Jason said to Karen, like, if your opinion mattered, you would be on the panel. And then it all got out of hand, so, you know, and then he got fired from the job, and then he came back, and, you know, it's deja vu again. I just think, I don't think they're ever going to apologise. They're never going to be the best of friends. I think both Gemma and Jason are in the wrong. I think at the end of the day, for Gemma Collins, I think you when you take part in Dancing on Ice, you should know what it's about. It's a talent show, it's a popularity show. And also, if you want to become across nice to people, then stop acting like a diva and just get on and dance. And with Jason Gardner, I just think sometimes he does go across over the line, and I think, with Gemma and with Karen, like a few years back, you've got to be, there's a difference between Craig Revel-Horwood on Strictly and Jason Gardner on Dancing on Ice. With Craig, he is Mr. Nasty on Strictly, but he comes across more of like a dame villain in a pantomime. Like, he's mean, he's grumpy, he's miserable, and yeah, he does give low scores, but he's never nasty, or he never slams, or is ever vicious towards the contestants on the show. While Jason Gardner is just nasty and vicious and says what he likes and comes across like a troll on Twitter. I mean, you're, at the end of the day, you're allowed your own opinion, but you've got to be careful what you say, especially on national TV, and, at 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock in the evening. It's supposed to be a family show at the end of the day. It's not like a reality show like on Celebrity Big Brother. You can say whatever. Well, you can't, otherwise you get removed. But you can say, like, swear, or you can say anything, well, without being... Anyway, but, and it's the same with The Jungle, because those are reality shows. But, it just got out of hand, I mean, it was good TV. I mean, at the end of the day, Gemma Collins is like a person, like, who wants the tension on her. She wants the camera time. We've seen it all before, so I don't know if she wanted that. I feel sorry for her partner Matt, because he didn't really want to be there. I feel sorry for him. But yeah, it got out of hand, but you know what, it did make good TV. I mean, people are still talking about it now, so yeah. She wants attention, so let her have all the attention she wants. Anyway, I'm running out of time. I've talked too much about Gemma Collins. I haven't really talked about musicals weeks or any of the couples. My favourite couple this week was by far Sarah Alto. She was amazing. Let It Go performance. She sung as well, which is incredible. All those lifts, all the routines. I'm so happy for her. Wes from Love Island. He was really good. He was top of the leaderboard. Yes, somebody... Not James Jordan. James Jordan wasn't really that good. He had a few stumbles, but still second on the leaderboard. I don't understand that. Bit biased from Jason Gardner. Anyway, but yes, Wes was top of the leaderboard. Which is good. Melody Thornton, I thought she was good. It's weird because Jason Gardner always undermarks Melody, I think. I don't understand that. And yet he overmarks James. I think there's a bit of bias, or there's something going on. I don't know. It's jealousy or anything like that. But anyway, so yes, and Jane from Jane Dawson, who did that Les Mis performance. I thought it was really good of her. She's a real dark horse, I think. And she was in tears. She was all emotional after the performance. So she's a really good actress. Well, she's not, because that was real emotion. But yeah, I was really happy for her. She came through. So yes, musical week was good. I can't wait to see what's happening next week. I think most people will only tune in for Gemma Collins. But yeah, good week. Comment down below if you do watch Dancing on Ice. If you haven't, then watch it on record or on catch up. What do you think about Gemma Collins? Who's in the right, who's in the wrong? Are you in Gemma Collins' side? Are you on Jason Gardner's side? Or are you a bit like me, a bit of in the middle, on the fence? Comment down below. Like this video if you want. Subscribe to my channel if you want. And I will see you next time for another video. Until then, goodbye.